Hello, it's Crafty Rhea, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to share some Happy Mail, and I'm going to make a copycat card. I received this card in the mail from Valerie. She is one of my best friends, and she is also a member over at Create with Crafty Rhea. I mention her a lot. She gives me a lot of great ideas for the videos, and I appreciate her so much. Anyway, she made this card probably from using up her scraps, and it says hello. There's the front and there's the back. And then she said, Rhea, we may not be able to craft together, but we can craft in spirit. Love and crafting, BFF Valerie. And then she asks if I noticed her oops. Well, I had a guess of what her oops was. And I was right, but I really didn't think it was much of an oops at all. I thought she meant to have it that way. So if you see the oops, go ahead and leave a comment below and let us know what you think her oops is. It's really not an oops at all, but there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and use this card and copy it and see what I can come up with. So I went ahead and I don't have any green card bases like this at all. So I found a piece of green cardstock with a texture to it in my stash. You probably can't see it really good on camera. It has a really nice texture. Her card base also has a texture. And it's pretty much the same color green. Now, of course, I don't have these same pattern papers. You would think I did with all the paper I have, but I don't. So I went through my stash and found some similar designs with a different color scheme. I did find this stripy paper that I would use for this tag portion. I found this piece that I would use for the polka dot portion since it coordinated well with this. And this floral piece for this piece up here. Okay, so I have those three papers. I have a piece of scrap white cardstock. I don't have a stamp that says hello, but I do have this little one that says thinking of you, and I really do need more generic cards, so I went ahead and got that one out. And I have some of these stickers with flowers on them to use for those two flowers. I'll pick those out at the end. I have a circle punch, I have a scallop circle punch, and we are ready to go. The first thing I want to do is I want to stamp this thinking of you on here so it'll have a few minutes to dry. And it looks like she used a blue or a purple ink on here that matches the background. So I'm going to use this Gina K Grass Green because it will bring out the green in the papers. We'll see how it looks anyway. I can't find my little tiny stamp pad or stamping block, so I'm going to use this humongous one. Just see how that's going to work. That'll probably be better. Okay. Use my grass green. There we go. And that says thinking of you. I will set this aside out of the way so I don't make a mess of it. And I will set this aside so it has a few minutes to dry before we get to using that piece. So meanwhile, I have to make a card base out of this. I have my scoreboard, and I'm going to use my good bone folder. I have my bone folder, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. This is the Martha Stewart scoreboard, and it comes with a bone folder, but it has a very, very thin tip. You can see the difference. And sometimes this tip is too thin and it tends to tear the paper. So I don't like using it. I only use it when I absolutely have to. And I scored it on this side, so I'm going to turn it over and then fold it over. And then you get a really nice, good score. This is nice, thick cardstock. Then I will cut this at 5 1/2. This makes an A2 size card. And then I will have a card base for another card. That's how I make all of my card bases. All right, so to copycat this card, I'm going to cut this large piece out first. And I'm going to get an idea on here how big I need it to be. I do want to take off a piece from this white side rather than from the side that has an orange stripe on it. And I'm just going to make a little mark there. And then I'm going to come up here and see how tall I need it to be. I'll actually flip it over. I'll make that mark on the back. There we go. Usually when Valerie and I get together, it is on craft day at her church. It's usually the 3rd Friday of the month, and we usually end up sharing supplies and making the same type of cards. We kind of copy each other as we go. So I thought this would be appropriate since, of course, we're not meeting now. So I thought this would be a fun way to kind of really craft together without actually being in person. There, so I have that. And then I need to cut the edges to make the edges of the tag. I'm going to cut one side. What I did was I lined the paper up and I measured from corner to corner. There, so we have corner to corner. Get my little ruler. And make a line from that edge to the other edge. It does not have to be perfect. And I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to use a long blade, so I just have to make one cut, and just make one cut straight down that line. And then I'm going to take this same piece that was over here, bring it over, flip it around, and mark it onto this side. Take my pencil and draw a line, so that way I'm taking off the same corner shape from both sides. There we go. So there we have a tag. Easy as that, no special tools required. So it really doesn't matter what shape you're making your tag. If you just use the piece you cut off for your pattern on the other side, it will give you an even tag shape. And this goes down in the corner, the bottom corner of the card, just like that. So what I need to do is measure out this piece, and I'm going to use this piece of paper here. I think I can use it. It's exactly the same height that way, so that's what I'll do. I'll put it on my card over here just in case my measurements are not exactly the same as Valerie's. And I will make a little mark here and here and cut that piece off. So if you ever get a card that you really like and you want to recreate it, this is how you can do it. There we go. Because this really doesn't matter. This design does not matter which way you have it. There we go. And then I'm going to cut, I'm just going to make this piece a square and stick it up underneath that. I have this paper here, so let me go ahead and flip it over. I kind of like the orange side, so I will do it this way. I want to get the best piece on there. I have that. And then I will measure it this way. Just to give myself a little bit of an idea. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to match it up as best I can. All right. And then I will put that up in the corner. And then we have that background all set. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down while I have it, and then I'll put the embellishments on. I'll put this piece down first. I do want to crease my card down a little bit more. There we go. Just so it lays flat. I'll use my art glitter glue because some of these pieces are pretty small. Put this up in the corner. And I like how that flower looks like it's growing upright, so that I think is pretty good. And I'll go ahead and put this little piece here. I got a lot of glue in one spot. I'm going to move that glue around so there's not a lump on my paper. This paper is pretty thin. Well, this piece is thick, but the other pieces are pretty thin. I don't know where this orange one came from. I don't remember. But these two, I think, are from Die Cuts with the View, different stacks that were in my scrap pile. And then I will put this right over that. There we go. I have a thing for patterned paper. I have more patterned paper, I think, than anybody should be allowed to have. My husband says my room is a fire hazard because of all the paper that I have. But we won't listen to that kind of negative talk. Okay. And then I will cut out some of these pieces here. I didn't get a piece. I didn't notice this piece when I was pulling my paper out, so I didn't grab one of those. But I think since this is so different in other spots, I think I will just use that piece right there. And I will use this one for the background of the flower. Then I have my Thinking of You, and this is my 1.5 inch circle, and I'm going to line it right up in there. And give that a punch. I think it's, yep, that's the same size she used, so that is perfect. Let me go get my bigger circle punch, and we'll go from there. Well, first of all, I have my other scallop punch here to go with that. Let's see if that's the right size scallop. That sure is. Yep. So I have that scallop there. And I need to get a bigger circle punch. I will be right back. And this is the biggest circle punch I have. It may not be as big as hers, but we'll go from there. We'll use it and see what I can come up with. I want to get as much of the design on this outer part that we're going to be able to see. So I'm just trying to line it up here and decide what part of this paper I actually want to punch. And we'll go with that piece, I think. We'll see how it looks. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like it. So I'm going to go look in my scrap paper and see what I can find, if I can find something with a polka dot. Okay, I found this dark orange or red color with a polka dot, and I will punch out one of those. Alright, so that'll be back behind it. Okay, and then I'll put a flower there. It's not as big as her circle, but I think it'll work. So let's go ahead and get this piece glued down. And I'll go ahead and adhere this down on there since that's flat. And then she has the hello part up on some foam tape. So I will put this on a piece of foam tape. This is a roll of foam tape that I got at the Dollar Tree. And it's 1/16 of an inch thick, so it's not very thick. And that kind of will go right there. And then I need to put an embellishment, a flower here and a flower up here. So the flower up here is more flat. So I got these out of my stash. I think they're really pretty. And I want to pick one that I think will go with this design. Maybe this one with the yellow and the purple and the green. I think that one goes best. And I want to carefully peel it off the backing. There we go. And I will just put that right up there. And then I want to put something that has more of a 3D element down here. And again, I want it to kind of match the card and go along with it. I might like that little guy. These colors are really pretty. Oh, I think these colors go really nice. Let's use some of these. Normally I would just hoard these and I would never use them. I like this. That one. Right there, and I might even put a little bit of these kind of over underneath it a little bit and over to the side. Maybe one there and then one on the other side. There we go. There's my copycat card. Maybe I want one more of these little guys. Kind of up under there. There. All right. So here is Valerie's card, and here is the one I made to kind of copy it. I think they both are adorable. I think it came out cute, and I had a lot of fun. So like I said, Valerie and I usually craft together, and we copy off of each other and share supplies. So I thought this would be just perfect to go ahead and do this. It would be as if we're crafting together, but we're not really together. And if you figured out what the Oops on Valerie's card is, please do leave a comment below. I'm sure she'll enjoy it if you can figure it out. There you go. Thanks again for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up to show Valerie some support as well. Leave a nice comment below. That would be wonderful. And if you haven't yet joined in my group, Create with Crafty Rhea, head on over there on Facebook. We'd love to have you join. I've got some exciting things going on. Valerie's in the group, and you can leave her a message there as well. And until the next time, you know what to do. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.